Welcome to another episode of Every Day is Friday. I'm your host, Coach Jay Fry, and it is here where we bring you the feelings, the energy, the vibes that Friday brings, and we bring it to you regardless of the day. We're going to try to bring you 18 minutes of golden nuggets every single day so that you can become that much better. Want to move your needle? Listen to this episode. I've teamed up with Mike Vernaci. He's providing a quote, and then we give you the details. We give you all the stuff underneath the quote, underneath the iceberg, right? And we're going to give you nuggets, wisdom, stories, tactics, tools, techniques to get you just that much better based on what the quote brings you. So today's quote is, "The life in front of you is far more important than the life behind you." I'm going to read that again. The life in front of you is far more important than the life behind you. If that doesn't hit home just a little bit, I don't know what will. You see, we hold on to things. As leaders, we create this idea that what happens in the past is a direct correlation to what's going to happen in the future. And that's not true. It's what happens today. It's what happens in this moment that we become focused, that we make the action, that we take the decisions, and we move forward instead of looking backwards. So what I want you to think about is it's no longer we're going to be stuck. It's no longer that we're going to be stuck in successes and failures and wins in your past role. We're going to be focused on moving forward and future focused so that you can get those bags, those big ass goals, and you can create the life that you want to, the dreams, the goals that you want to experience. But it demands something. It demands focus. It demands creating this vision. And that vision matters, more important than those things that happened in the past. They're over. We can't do anything about them except pull the data, pull the experience, and learn from it, adapt, and then go. So let's get started. We are going to talk about a client I worked with. Last year I worked with a guy who had been running a big business. It had been a big company for quite a long time, and he had been super successful, but he couldn't stop talking about the old days. We were so good then. But what did we do upon data collection, upon a discovery? We found out that revenue had dipped, team dynamic, team culture had dropped significantly. We found out that instead of adapting, he just tried to recreate the vision of the past. Now, what's wrong with that picture? You're holding on to something that used to do it, that used to be good enough. And a lot of times you'll hear somebody even say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Well, we can't have that mentality because now, with everything that's going on, the future is changing super fast. And if we're not ready, if we're not adaptable, if we're not flexible, it's not going to happen. But if we don't create that vision of seeing it forward, we're going to be stuck. And revenue is going to dip just like his company. And team dynamics, team culture is going to drop significantly because of this mindset. So let's think a little bit further. What could we do to get rid of, to nix, to eliminate the nostalgia and to create vision? Now, when I was working with this client, as soon as we were able to shift that mindset, we saw everything shifted. We started thinking about things that could be. New hires were hired differently, with a different mindset, with a different focus. New direction was created by himself and his team. The board got together and was able to create new direction. Which way do we want to go? We were able to establish that big ass goal. So now, once we have this, now all of a sudden I want this. And so now it's my job as a leader to create the vision and the steps and all the decision points that are going to be needed in order to grow and to get there. That's going to create massive momentum. You think of teams in March Madness that we just experienced. We're thinking of teams that are in the NBA playoffs. Teams that have created massive momentum because of their ability to maintain the vision, their ability to constantly adapt and become flexible. Winning programs, winning coaches have this mindset, this attitude. I want you to think of one thing. You cannot drive forward looking in the rearview mirror. You cannot drive forward successfully by looking into the rearview mirror. What does this quote demand? What does it demand from us as leaders, as coaches, as business owners, as CEOs? What does this demand from us? And we're going to give you 3 different things that it demands so that you can take this piece with you. You see, it demands for you to let go of yesterday's identity. Right now we're doing this ruck. We're doing a 90-day challenge, and it's a quarterly thing that we do where every quarter we get a little bit more difficult. Every quarter is a little bit harder. So we do hardship. Because of this forces us to do exactly what this focus is: let go of yesterday's identity. In order for me to become the person, the dad, the leader, the CEO, I have to drop yesterday's identity, and I have to create today's identity in the direction at which I want to go because I've created this vision. You are not who you were. That's the point. Let me re-emphasize that. You are not who you were. In order to go where you want to go, to create this bag, and to accomplish it, growth means change. You're going to have to change decisions. You're going to have to change habits. You're going to have to change behaviors. And you're going to probably have to change friends in your inner circle so that you can accomplish the direction at which you want to go. All of that is associated with your identity. And your identity yesterday is not the same identity as it is today. We are a new person. And just like yesterday, we spent 18 minutes, which knowing the focus, knowing the fact that we spend 18 minutes of skill development, of focus on whatever it is I want to learn, I want to get better at. By the end of the year, I'm going to be better than 95% of you. That's my mentality. How do I become better than everybody else and set that bar so much higher? It's by a little bit every day. It's by 18 minutes. I want to create yesterday's identity and expand on it. Growth means change. Number 2, the future needs your presence. I made a quote the other day. I had written it down that, our future success demands action in the presence. We need to create action now in our presence in our present state, in order to get where we want to go for that future self, for our bags. So a lot of us are standing or hoping or, praying that whatever's going to happen is going to happen and it's just going to come to us. But that's not what that's not what true belief is. Belief is faith in action. And faith is belief, but I have to also do the required steps in order to get where I want to go. It's always going to require steps, action, movement. So don't confuse this. We've got to make sure that our future requires our presence, and by doing that, we become focused on now. Actions now. What's most important now? My man Alan Stein talks about winning Well, to win, I have to be focused on what's important now. I like thinking of what's most important now. The third thing is that vision, your vision creates hope. If you are a leader, you are instilling hope. If you are a parent, a CEO, your job is to create this vision, and so that vision creates hope of better. What does every presidential candidate do? They talk about what they're going to do in order to make everything better. So they create a vision, and it's whether or not you want to jump along this vision with them. Every leader is going to do this. And it's about whether or not they can get you to see the GPS point, to see the bag, and then whether or not you're going to want to jump on board. People will follow those with clarity and momentum, not regret. So a lot of us have this idea of regret. But regret is past. Regret is stuff that happened in the past, and it does not help us move forward. So vision is going to create this hope that what happened in the past is no longer going to happen in the future simply because we're taking those action steps. We're going to be clear and concise. We're going to be simple so that we can create clarity, and clarity can create momentum. That's the focus. So right now, there might be some of us who have regret in our life. But I want you to let that go. It's a whole lot easier said than done. But what we're going to do is we're going to help you in these next steps create clarity, create something to help us move forward so that when that thought of despair comes, of regret comes, we're already ready. We've got the trigger, we've got the pistol ready so that when that thought comes, we can shoot it and aim correctly. So here are our actionable tools and takeaways. What you can now do today. You can do better as a CEO, as a leader, so that we can move the needle, so that we can reach those bags just a little bit closer, a little bit sooner. We don't want paralysis. We're going to take action steps, and here's what we've got. I want you to grab a piece of paper, and I want you to create 2 circles. One is past. The other is future. Past and future. Okay? So now that we have our 2 circles on one page, we're going to label past and one future. What I want you to do is list inside of that circle what you're holding on to that's in the past. What are you holding on to? What's a regret that's keeping you from moving your needle, keeping you from creating action? Go ahead and write it down. Now, what I want you to do in the other circle that's titled future is I want you to move towards something. So write down something that you want to move toward in the future. So this could be your big ass goal. This could be that bag of yours that you're ready to do. And I want you to write that down. So you might have a couple, you might have less than what the regrets are, than what the past is holding you back from, and you might have more. It might be we might be even. That's okay. So that's part 1. Part 2, we're going to pick one future-facing habit. Okay? Future-facing habit. The previous one with the 2 circles gives us this perspective. It gives us awareness, which is something we really, really need to move forward. Awareness of where we're at. Where is our mind at? Where do we want it to go? So the next one is picking our future-facing habit. It could be a weekly planning session. Maybe a new team initiative. New goals for the team. Maybe it's carving 15 minutes each morning out for you to review your goals. Now, we truly believe that the work is done the day before. So if you're planned out for today and you were planned out for today yesterday, you're going to likely be more successful. So this is just a review of your goals. So making this habit of every single morning reviewing what you had planned yesterday in order to effectively move your needle today. I want you to ask your team, this is number 3, ask your team, if we started from scratch today, what would we do differently? Give them a chance to speak freely. Hear their feedback so that you as a team can grow and get better. Sometimes truth, and I didn't say brutal truth is hard to take because a lot of times the leadership issue is on us, not on them. But take this so that you can move forward. If you started from scratch, what would we do? We'd focus on narrowing our message. What is our story? We'd focus on improving the sales piece. We'd focus on discovery instead of pitching or presenting. We'd focus on those pieces so that we could build it in the way that effectively communicates what we want to do, where we want to go. Now in our DOPE journal, D-O-P-E, data of personal experience, so some people call it data of past experience. Marine Corps snipers, which we did an episode on, that was how they logged every single shot that they had taken in the field. They knew the weather, they knew the distance, they knew everything, the barometric pressure, they knew all that so that they could truly get where they wanted to go. So your leadership journal, what is part of my past that is holding me back from leading in the present? What is part of my past that's holding me back from leading in the present? Now, I want you to ask your team this discussion question. What would it look like if we focused on 80% of our energy on the future instead of what happened in the past? What would that look like? The life in front of you is far more important than the life behind you. Your future deserves your full attention. So stop looking back and start focusing on what are my actions, what are my behaviors, what's my goals so that I can take the necessary steps to do that. Once again, I want to thank Mike Vernaci. He is helping us grow. So he's providing the quotes, we provide the message, and we're going to rock and roll and continue to help develop you into the person that you want to do, the person you want to become. Every day is Friday. And if we have this attitude, we can move forward with more energy, more vigor, and a better way to serve those we love and lead. Have an amazing day, and God bless.